佐々木と夏川。
少女漫画の世界こじらせた風花にド天然なんかじゃないもん。
あれ、佐々木さんってこんな感じだったっけ？俺や一ノ瀬さんといる。
風花ちゃん、お邪魔しました。今日のところは失礼しよう。みんな
なんか中学生って感じだな。
Okay. Episode number 11 of the Dream Boys Realist. Okay, so here's my honest thing, y'all. I don't think this is exactly what I wanted from this episode, but before, put me on the stake, I think this was the best episode of Dream Boys Realist, and I laughed my ass off. Like, I can't even sit here and lie. Like, I hella laughed this episode. I think this was the best episode of Dreaming Boys a Realist. But the reason I said it wasn't exactly what I wanted is I just feel like we had Sasuke, right? And Sasuke is basically like the one who she fits perfectly with Sajo. Now he does have 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥, and then he does have the disciplinary girl. I always forget what her name is. What is her name? Shinomiya. Okay, so he has Shinomiya, he has 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥, and then he has Sasuke, right? I think Sasuke's number one. And he has these three girls that are an option, and then you have Natsukawa, and then you have to forget that you can't forget that we also have Natsukawa's friend Kei as well too. So we have like these options for him. Now, Sasuke though being the best of them, she was also the best character to deliver something really special. Now, I was really hoping in my heart of hearts that Sasuke was connected or was like the little sister of Sasuke, the person who's been trying to steal Natsukawa from Sajo. Now, that didn't happen. This episode, we just found out that their kanji letters are a little bit different. The way you say their names are the same, but the meaning behind their names are slightly different, which totally makes sense when you're dealing with kanji and kind of the way that things are written. It totally makes sense to me that you can have two things said the same way, but they're either spelled slightly different or the characters within it, at least in Japan, the characters are slightly different. That totally makes sense to me. But I really felt like, her being used as this catalyst for like gotcha, would have been really, really cool. And especially if Sajo had a pre-existing relationship with Sasuke's little sister, I think that would have just made for such an awesome thing to occur. And I think like the funnies could have even been even funnier than what they were if we kind of got to that, kind of like eye-catching, like gotcha moment. I think that would have been really cool. Now, with that aside, I can't change what we got. We got what we got, okay? And I think what we got was really, really solid. Like, we still got Sasuke. She was still presented as such. And during her school's tour, she had Natsukawa and she had the other Sasuke guy, right? And during her school tour, she kept saying like, I would love for Sajo to show me around. And she's obviously been talking about him quite a bit to her classmates who were there as well too. And he finally appears, and she daintily runs towards him. And that's hilarious because then Natsukawa and Sasuke are behind him, or behind her as well too, as she's running up to Sajo. And then she was like, her friends like, is this the Sajo who changed, the immature girl into mature one, who got the manga obsessed one to be more in tune with reality, the one who's polite and got her to change the way she speaks. Basically, they just kept piling it on. And bro was like, he was sweating. And I think that was just like, I was hella laughing at that. And I was like losing it. I thought that was like the best thing ever. Then he had to sit down with Kei and with Natsukawa, and he had to explain everything, like who this girl was and what she was to him and everything that happened. And the running joke this episode too of Natsukawa continually trying to get our character, Sajo, the way she tried to get Sajo, like the running joke this episode was getting him to delete the picture of them in their swimsuits. I think that was really funny too. But he had to sit down and give them the skinny of like what happened. So now, on top of Natsukawa kind of being a little obsessed now herself, right? Like it's coming around. So that tells me episode 12, we actually might get there to where that there's a mutual confession. Okay. So I think that's really cool. But not only was like, she really, in that obsessed state, she also is aware of Kei's relationship with him, which is very friendly, cordial, and they play around a lot. So that she has to deal with that. Okay, for like forever since she entered high school. So she has that. Then she has to deal with him talking about 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥, right? So she has that level of, a little bit of jealousy there. And then with Shinomiya, the other girl, she sees the way she looks at him and the way she's gotten, come after him. So she has to deal with that. And then now she has this other girl who's like, has made Sajo into like, a man's man. And she has to deal with like all of these emotions on top of, seeking him out and all this other stuff because he made her have it bad, So I just think this was the best episode of My Dream Boy's Realist so far. I loved it. I loved every moment of it. I thought this was fantastic. Very well written. Very paced out very well. And then the comedy, what it went for, I just felt like it really, really, really hit. So best episode, My Dream Boy's Realist, and gives me hope for the last episode to have something there to get like a mutual confession or something from both of them as he spends time at her house. What I'm assuming happens is that, we have the tropey, she falls on him, he falls on her kind of thing, and maybe like a mutual kiss or something like that. And maybe there's not words, but actions solidify, like boom, boom, So anyways, really great episode. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. I'll see you guys next week, my friends. Peace.